It is undoubtedly true that movies have become the main source of entertainment. So many types of movies are released every day. Some are released in Bollywood, in Tollywood, in Hollywood, and in many other countries. Some movies really give some message, and some movies make us laugh. As nowadays we have become so busy, we have become so much stress, life has become so much stressful. So whenever I find some free time, I usually watch some movies which really make me laugh. And one of the movie that really is very much hilarious, that is a movie about Mr. Beans. Actually, there are so many short movies on the character of Mr. Beans, as well as there are few movies which are of full length. I remember when I watched this movie, I was really very much impressed by the character of Mr. Bean, who was so hilarious. The way he has been shown as childish, selfish, extremely competitive, and he brings various unusual schemes to everyday tasks. And the best thing about this movie was the character, Mr. Beans, he rarely speaks. And with his body language only, he makes us laugh. Whenever he wants to speak something, he just mumble a few words in a very comically low pitch voice. And yes, the way he doesn't like people taking his things, it makes him feel like he's like some innocent child. Though he's an adult, but his activities like are like some kids. The way he performs his tasks are very funny. At every step of that movie, I was laughing like anything, and the humor largely came from his original but absurd solutions to the problems, and when he used to solve them. So, whenever I feel low, I usually watch movies of Mr. Beans, and there are many short movies which really do not waste my time also, and they make me laugh. Normally, I am very much punctual if I have to go somewhere, and if there is something important where I have to reach, like exams or some appointment with doctor. At the time, I start well ahead from the prescribed time so that I can be there in time. But once I remember, I got so much late, but thank God I reached there also in time because of my habit of starting well ahead of the time. Actually, during my 12th class exams, our school did not provide us any transport from the school to reach the center, which had been prescribed by the center to conduct our exams. My exams were being conducted in Jalandhar, and my father used to take me and drop me to the school, to the center where my exams were being held, and he used to take me back also. And I remember we started well ahead, and as we were about to reach, only half an hour of distance was left, and what we saw, there were long queues of vehicles, and traffic had been diverted to some other side. And when my father uh, asked what was happening, and he came to know that there was some politician who had to pass from that way, and this is because of his smooth passing, they had diverted the traffic of normal common public. We all were so much panicked because there were my friends also who were accompanying with me on that day, because we used to go together for our exam, and we all started getting scared what would happen if it was not if it would not have been possible to reach there in time. But my father, he knew some shortcut from some villages areas, some rural areas. He took us from that way so that we could be there at the school, at the center at right time. And we reached there about 15 minutes before the exam. Our hearts were thumping, but still we managed to reach there. So that was the important journey for which I got delayed, but thank God I was there in time. And I was really furious over the behavior of the politicians whom we elect for us. But it is because of those people common public has to suffer. Bad behavior of children has become a main concern almost all over the world among the parents because children they have been pampered a lot by their parents in many parts of the world, and many times they behave so badly that they do not even hesitate, they do not even bother to see whether they are at some public place or at home. It happened with me once. Some of my distant relatives they were visiting my home, and they were having three kids with them, and they planned to go to the market to go for some shopping, and they told me to go with them. And as they were my guest and I had no other option, I went with them to the market. As we were in the market, those kids they were shouting very loudly, they were running here and there, and very soon they started shouting to get some food. They told that they were hungry, they wanted some food, and we went to the food court so that they could get something to eat. There also they were uh, very much fussy in choosing the food that they were going to order to get for themselves, and many times they changed the orders in between, and when order was delivered to them, at the time they started throwing the food on the ground. They were smearing face with the ketchup, and even they were cleaning their hands with each other. They were shouting also. People were looking at them, and I was really astonished to see that even their parents they were not telling them to stop, to not do that kind of behavior at the public place. As I was the part of that group, so it was quite embarrassing for me. And I was thinking if it would have been my parents, they would have really strictly scolded me or even could have slapped me also at the time. But it's a duty of the parents to take care of their children so that they should behave properly, at least at the public places. So that was the time when I saw some children behaving so badly at public places. In this modern era, uniform has become one of the most important aspect of our personality. Let us say in schools and colleges, uniform has become part and parcel of corporate world also. Person can be recognized by the uniform he or she wears, and we can immediately tell to which profession or occupation those persons belong to. And sometimes in our childhood, when we are in our schools, at the time we are forced to wear uniforms whether we like them or not. I remember up to class 5th, I was in a government school where I had to wear Punjabi suits as a uniform. That suit was in color khaki, and boys had to wear white shirts and khaki pants. And I really disliked those colored uniforms because those were very dull, and they gave a very depressing personality to us. And I always wanted to change that uniform. And in class 6, my father sent me to some public school where the uniform was very smart skirt as well as shirt, and there I used to wear white shirt, blue skirt, and I had my childhood desire to wear such kind of uniform in my school. I was so happy after wearing that uniform, and I was not even scared or even hesitant of going to new school in class 6th. And because of the uniform, I was more enthusiastic. I just wanted to flaunt my uniform, and when I wore that uniform, I was looking very confident. And till class 10th, I had to wear in white shirt and blue skirt, and it had become my favorite uniform because since my childhood I wanted to wear skirts, but because of my culture, because of my traditions, skirts were not allowed to be worn in our society. And by wearing this uniform, wish of wearing skirt also became fulfilled. So that was the uniform that I used to wear in my school life, and it was really a very impressive uniform for me. In this era of globalization, it has become very easy to go to any foreign country, and people have started going to foreign countries either for further studies or for jobs or business or to settle there. Even people, they go there for tourism purpose also. And there are so many countries which attract the people from my country uh, due to so many reasons. Among those countries, the country where I want to go and I want to work there for some time, it is United Arabian Emirates, that is UAE. There are many reasons, solid reasons for which I want to go to that country. Firstly, as visa formalities are very simple. We do not have to wait for a long time for the visa applications. It is very easy to get visa for Dubai and UAE. Secondly, currency of that country, it is quite stronger in comparison to the currency of my country. So the time that I'll be devoting to my work, it will be paying me more if I'll be working there in UAE. And as we all know, money matters a lot. So obviously I would go there and I would earn a lot of money so that I can come back to my country and I can start my own startup in my same field. And as I'll be having enough money with me, it will be easy for me to start my own work. And the reason for staying there for less time, it is because weather there is very hot in comparison to India. So I think I'll not be able to survive there for much long time. Secondly, I want to come back to stay with my parents, as it is my responsibility to be with them. So that is the reason I would work there for short period. So UAE is a country where I want to go and work for some time. In this era of globalization, it has become a trend to visit foreign countries just for the sake of tourism or for further studies or for work or some job. There are many countries which quite fascinate me, and among those countries, the country about which I really want to know more about, it is a European country. It is Italy. Actually, I want to know more about Italy because of so many reasons. Firstly, because so many movies have shown a very famous city of Italy, that is Venice. Venice is a city which is surrounded by water canals. There is no land transport. If somebody has to go somewhere, there are boats and water transport is there. And this has always fascinated me, and I always want to know how people live there. And secondly, my favorite continental food is pizza, and pizza is from Italy. And I want to try pizza in its authentic environment with its authentic taste. And there are so many other cities as well as other monuments also, and Italy, where I want to visit and I want to see them. And one of my friend, she has been to Italy. She has told me that it is very easy to get visa for that country. And because I have to go there, it is in my bucket list. This is the reason I have been trying to learn a language which is spoken over there. And I hope I would get a chance very soon to go to this country. This is the country so which about which I want to know more. Thank you. Without toys, our childhood really is incomplete. We cannot even imagine our childhood if there are no toys. I remember in my childhood, I was not having many toys. I was having few toys only. And among those toys, the toy that was my favorite, it was a Barbie doll. Actually, at the time, Barbie dolls, these were not very much, uh, we can say, affordable by many families. These were quite expensive at the time, and I wanted to have Barbie doll for me. And one of my aunt, she was living abroad, and she sent a courier a parcel at that time by post on my birthday, and it was a surprise for me. And when I opened, my dad gave me that parcel to me to open it by myself because he knew that that gift was for me only. I was very much excited at that time. I just wanted to see what it was. And when I opened that parcel, I saw there was my like dream come true, as I had a pink dressed Barbie doll in front of me in that parcel. I was so much happy. I just started dancing at the time, if I am not wrong. And I didn't let anyone to touch that doll, and I always thought that that doll was real one. I used to share my school stories, things of my classmates with that doll, and I used to keep it at my bed also while sleeping. I never let it uh, be kept in some almirah or somewhere else. I used to keep it with me only. Some of my friends, they also wanted to take it to touch it, but I never let them do. Sorry, I had been so selfish, but that was selfishness of that innocent age. So still, I'm having that doll with me, and so that is still my favorite.